Hey guys, this is the Close Friends Only podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Rosso. This podcast is inspired by my close friends on Instagram, which is my corner of the internet where we discuss life unfiltered, from worst first dates to valuable life advice. This podcast is a place where we can debrief dates, our favorite TV shows, or learn something productive from one of our close friends. Pour yourself a coffee or a glass of wine and let's get today's episode started. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Close Friends Only. I'm your host, Lindsay, and I apologize that I am sitting here with a microphone that has collected dust. It's been a minute, and we'll get into it, but I just needed some time. I unfortunately was sick for like a month, so just when I was feeling good, work was my priority. I just visited home and had a cute little catch up and time with my family, went to a family wedding. We'll get into all that. But welcome to, I guess, our first episode for fall. It's September 7th. It's actually a Saturday as I'm recording this. I just spent the afternoon in the woods. My friends and I escaped the city and went out to the Cleveland Dam. It's like in northwest Vancouver, and just went on a little stroll. It was very leisurely till the last 10 minutes, and we were just hiking straight up, and it made me realize I really need to hit the gym more often, but it was beautiful. I snapped some pics and had a great afternoon. Today I'm drinking a diet grapefruit soda by President's Choice. I got these diet lemonades in the summer that really hit the spot, and I love a grapefruit. Like when I go to a restaurant, I usually get grapefruit mimosas versus orange. I just like a more tart, less sweet drink. So I thought that these would be good. However, they taste quite artificial, so I can't really say they're hitting the spot. And as we get into it, I haven't been drinking a whole lot lately, so although it's Saturday night, I'm skipping the wine. My body just went through hell, being sick for a month. Apologies if I sound still a little bit nasally, but yeah, I'm really giving my body a break from a lot of things right now. On that note, I hope everyone had an amazing summer. The last couple summers I've done Euro summer. I was in Greece and Italy and Croatia and France and London and all these fun places, and this year I really took it a lot easier. This was my first year in my 30s, and I just decided to kick off my 30s with some responsibility, aka not blowing 20 grand on a few weeks of travel. Don't get me wrong, worth it for the memories, but my friends and I, we just don't travel cheap. So decided to keep it low-key, focus on work this summer, and I'm so glad I did, because like I mentioned already twice, I ended up sick for the entire month of August. So had I booked something and went and spent all this money for a big trip and I was on my deathbed, I would have been so disappointed. So I hung out in Vancouver all summer and enjoyed myself. What I called a boring girl summer, not a hot girl summer. I totally was in grandma mode. I just really focused on work, and embraced a more simple lifestyle and just focused on self-care and keeping my head above water when I was sick. The whole theme this summer was really just emphasizing on low-key activities, walking the seawall, hanging out with friends, versus nights out. I am a huge LGBTQ plus ally, and even this summer I didn't partake in Pride weekend, which is usually so fun, but I just didn't have it in me. I didn't have the social battery for a big night out and just loud music and partying. So I opted for a night out with one of my girlfriends, and her and I really just went to a cocktail bar and had some drinks and had some fun, but called it, which was really nice. So I had a couple nights out, but this summer, but like all in all, I really was at home relaxing, watching some shows. I rewatched Gossip Girl start to finish. If you know me, you know I am obsessed with Gossip Girl. It's funny to watch it also in like the lens of 2024 because like a show like that would never air today. And there's some things that are problematic 100%, but I love the wardrobe. I do love the storyline. Yeah, so it's like nostalgic and fun for me. I watched Love Island, of course. I'm a huge Love Island fan, and I watched the UK and the USA. I kind of like sped through the USA. I didn't watch all full episodes. I think when you're a Love Island fan, sometimes it gets kind of repetitive, so I just kind of like skip through a few things. But all in all, I would say like the USA one was better than the UK, and I've always stood by the fact that the UK version is like way better, but like I just don't think they casted it great for the UK version this year. And the US one was like wild. I'm obsessed with Leah. She is the funniest girl. She just doesn't give a flying fuck. She just is who she is. She's extra, but she's like she owns it, and I love that about her. I just love that when she, if you follow Love Island, I won't go on about this too long, but I loved when she first came in. She's like, I'm a triple Leo. I always kind of like shy away from the fact that I'm a Leo because I don't want to like seem too much. Whereas she was like, I'm a triple Leo, bitches. Like, take me as I am. And I was like, I love that. I will say one of my highlights of the summer for sure, and I'm so glad that it was like the one weekend in August I wasn't sick, was my birthday. So if you're new here or if you missed it, for my 30th birthday, I went to Paris. Paris is my favorite city in the world, and my sister and my best friend Steven and our friend Brooke, who is like a sister to me, we all went to Paris and celebrated my birthday with just walking the city and enjoying French food and drinking champagne. And I treated myself to my Chanel bag. I had like saved for this bag for 100 years, and I got a vintage Chanel bag in Paris, and it was just like an iconic 30th birthday. However, like I only got to spend my birthday with three people. I can't count. Alex, Stephen, Brooke. Apologies if you can hear motorcycles and traffic outside. You might not, but anyways. So that was the downfall of hosting my birthday away. Whereas this year, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. I had been sick. I got COVID the first week of August. My birthday is the 16th. So I was kind of like, do I feel like doing anything? I honestly leaned towards like a movie night with my best friend Becca. And then I was like, no, like, I just don't want to drink. Like, I don't want a night out. So I just planned a brunch, and we kind of like recreated my 30th birthday. We went to this French restaurant. I got like a cute little dress. Um, Becca and I rented scooters. Well, she rented scooters for us, which was so sweet. Because when I'm in Paris, my favorite thing to do is get on those Lime scooters and just scoot around the city. It's like my favorite thing to do. We went for high tea. I got invited by Holt's Cafe to go experience. I had like a Guerlain, I think that's saying it right. It's a French skincare company. They had like a pop-up high tea at Holt's Cafe. So we did that on my birthday, and they covered the tip and everything. So we didn't have to spend a cent, which was amazing. We went and did a little shopping. I was like on the fence about getting a pair of those like Chanel ballet flats. And then decided no, because we're sticking to responsibility in our 30s. And then we went on the scooters, met up with my friend for happy hour. That was the Friday, and the Saturday I had brunch with everyone because I just figured Friday, Becca's a teacher, so she was off and ready to hang all day on the Friday. And then Saturday I invited all my friends, and it was one of those things I was kind of like, oh, everyone has lives, everyone's busy. And I sent a group text, and I think there was like 15 or so people in it, and I was just kind of like, oh, probably like 5 of us will show up, like whatever. And sure enough, like every person essentially was free, other than like a couple people who like had very valid reason. One was out of the country, one had like her immediate family's birthday. So, but it was I just felt special. Like, I know it sounds so corny, but like I had like 12 people at my birthday. Everyone showed up with flowers. Like, the vibes were just so good. Everyone's so positive. I know it's like different when it's your birthday because it's all your people in a room, but I just truly felt so loved. Had a cute like 2-hour birthday brunch, had great food. If you're in Vancouver, Tableau Bar Bistro. I personally think it should be Tableau Bistro Bar. I think that sounds better. But it was very wonderful. Staff was amazing. We actually ended up knowing the chef. I worked with him years ago. He sent me a drink. And then at the end, my friend Bo, sweet little bean Bo, he's the best. Actually, him and I worked at the same restaurant where the chef worked. So Tyler, the chef, sent me a drink. I got a little cheeky espresso martini at the end of brunch. And then Bo was like, okay, because he's very so sweet. He's a bit spiritual, and he's like, everyone say what you love about Lindsay, or like what you loved about her this year or something. And I was like, oh my God, he had everyone. Like one of those like my skin's crawling moments, but at the same time like so sweet. It was honestly one of my best birthdays ever. Like ever. And it was like very little planning. I was very much so just kind of like, I hope people show up. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Like it was one of those things like I didn't have expectations, and it just like blew me out of the water. It was amazing. So that was my summer highlight. But yeah, truly, other than that, like we really were like I I was really enjoying just like quiet weekends at home, like binge watching my shows and kind of like exploring a bit outside the city. Me and my friends always on the weekends try and get outside like we did today and just get into nature and like reset a little bit. I cooked a lot, made lots of salads. I'm on a meal plan with Bianca Osborne. I have PCOS, and she so graciously has been she sent me over her PCOS meal plans and like has a bunch of recipes and stuff. So I was like really leaning into that. She's amazing. If you have PCOS, I really highly like recommend reaching out to her for insulin resistance. She was actually on our podcast when I had a podcast with Steven, the No Shame Pod. I can link the episode in this episode if you want to listen to it, but she is wonderful. That's how I met her. And she just genuinely cares. Like anytime I put stuff up on my close friends, she's right in there offering like not offering advice, but like just telling me how it is. She's always telling me how to like I should slow down because that's not helping my cortisol levels at all. But she's just so sweet. She really knows what she's talking about. And I like the perspective because I've always gone to PCOS specialists and naturopaths. And doctors, obviously. Doctors, no offense. My sister's literally a med school student. But, like, doctors are useless in the PCOS world, in my opinion. Specialists, And then, like, naturopaths, sure. But they're still trying to sell you something. Whereas I feel like Bianca is, like, obviously you're paying her for her service, but she's not pushing any supplements on you. She's not pushing any, like, product on you or medications or anything. She's just really trying to get to the root of it and like is healing you through food, which I really believe in. So reach out to her. And then to recap the last bit of my summer, I went home to Sault Ste. Marie. That's where I was born and raised. And I spent about 2 weeks there. We had a family wedding, so it was my dad's best friend's son, who's like a cousin to me. I actually haven't seen him in so long. So it was so nice. All my cousins were there. It was a very wholesome, like backyard wedding. We danced, we ate, we drank, we had a good time. Yeah, had a few beverages with my dad and my brother and my sister. My sister was even in town from Anguilla. She's a medical student in the Caribbean. So it was great to have her home and have everyone under the same roof. And just got to spend quality time with my grandma and my cousins and see people as much as I could because I unfortunately also was sick for about 5 days of that trip. I was sick with COVID, strep throat, and like a flu bug in August. I got sick 3 separate times. It was insane. it absolutely knocked me. So I'm really like taking my time and taking it easy this next little while. But it was a really good trip. We also went out to Batchewana, which is arguably the best beach on planet Earth. That's where I grew up camping. Like we had a trailer, and like my entire childhood was out there. Like we went to the beach and it's just sand on Lake Superior. The water's warm by August. It's pretty chilly in July, but very refreshing if you're having a hot summer day. And yeah, it was really nice to go out there with my dad and my brother, because I always go home for about like a month to 6 weeks at Christmas, but I never go home in the summer. So when I got this wedding invite, I was like, you know what? I should. So I did. Um, my parents went through a really horrible divorce in my 20s, and I don't know why, but like going out there is kind of triggering because that's what we did as a family, and like my mom isn't around. So I feel like it was like healing in a way for me to go there, and I've been bugging my dad to sell this trailer for years because it's also triggering for him. So I'm begging him to sell it because I'm like, it's like in really good use. Like some young family would love this, like eat this up completely. He has like kayaks and a four-wheeler and all this stuff he can throw in with it. And I'm just like, get rid of it. So we went out to that trailer and like took out anything we wanted to keep. We went through like everything. Me, my dad, my brother went to the beach, chit-chatted, put our feet in the water, like went on a nice little walk. So that was really nice too. I just can't believe it's been like 9 years since I moved to Vancouver. It is so crazy. So being home, I'm like, so much has changed. Like people's lives are so different, yet it still feels the same in a weird way. It's very odd, but I really enjoy my family time. My family's very important to me. Definitely a family oriented person. I love those freaks. But I'm also really glad to be back in Vancouver in my own apartment, in my own space. So the next thing I want to talk about is being boy sober. So on my close friends, usually what we talk about is boys. Guys I interact with on dating apps, like we just kind of debrief like disgusting messages sent by men on dating apps, or like if I have a prospect, I'll like get ready in my bathroom and tell my close friends about him and give a little debrief after the date and just kind of, yeah, like, you know, keep everyone in the loop on what's going on in my dating life. But this year has just been like a really hard year, like with my health and just keeping up with like my life. But then like dating's just been like so discouraging too. So I've been completely quote unquote boy sober. I saw that term on TikTok, I believe. It basically just means like I'm not dating. Like I'm not trying to date for the first time in like 8 years or however long it's been. Like I've been here for so long. I've been in Vancouver. So, and I've not had like a true boyfriend. Like I've obviously had prospects and like guys I've been seeing, and then it just doesn't get there, whatever. But I just don't have it in me. I don't have the mental or emotional energy for it anymore. And I really hope that I get to a more optimistic place. But right now, like, I just really don't trust men. I don't. And I should. Like, I trust my dad, I trust my brother. But, like, in the dating world, it's very grim. Like, either you meet a decent guy, and by decent I mean like not handsome or whatever, like someone who has like a job and has like stability and like wants kids and wants to build a life. You think you find that, and then they turn around and end things out of nowhere, or like you realize they're dating other people. Like I just feel like the rug's been pulled under me, like not like once or twice. Like I'm talking dozens and dozens of times. Like the last 8 years, I've been single. I've been like and don't get me wrong, there were a few years, like I mentioned. So, like, I moved to Vancouver, I just got out of a relationship, and I was like, okay, I don't have any friends. So I need to make friends before and have my own circle before I meet a guy and get a boyfriend. Because if I jump into a relationship and my only friends are his friends, I'm screwed. So I found all my girlfriends, and then that's when my parents split up, and I was just absolutely traumatized and like not myself. And like, I won't lie, like, I wasn't the nicest to boys. Like, I was kind of in like hookup culture and like really, I didn't want to drag anyone into my shit at that time. Like, I was really going through it. This is becoming very deep. So I had a few years where I was just like really going through my own stuff. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready for a relationship. So I really started trying to date. And like ever since then, I want to say this is like 2018. So years ago. 2018, 2019 maybe. Like, it's not been one or two guys, it's been like dozens of guys where I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe he's the one, maybe he could actually be my boyfriend, and it just never gets there. They always do something, or they're just like so disappointing. Like, they just it's just like disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. So I've just decided, like, because it just distracts me from work, and like I really want to focus on myself and be boy sober, quote unquote, like no dating apps. I'm not giving guys like the time. If some guy, God forbid, comes up to me in real life and was like, whoa, you're beautiful, can I please get your number or take you on a date? Of course I'm not going to say no. But like, does that happen in 2024? Absolutely not. So maybe we're leaning into the whole, it'll happen when you least expect it, when I'm absolutely not trying. I'm not putting myself out there, because I'll give myself one thing, although it's been like just disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, like getting knocked down again, knocked down again, knocked down again. I always get back up. I keep the optimism going, and I just keep pushing forward, back on the dating apps, back meeting new people. Like, that has been me consistently since at least 2019, and it's just I've hit my limit. I can't do it anymore. Like, I really can't. So I'm taking a break, like a proper break. Like, I think I'm gonna start with like 6 months, no dating apps. It's already been a while, and I am enjoying myself. You know what it is, like, as a woman, right? Like, because you put yourself on these dating apps, you have to expect everything under the sun, unfortunately, because you're essentially offering yourself to a giant pool of men, and you don't get to select who sees your profile. So whether you like it or not, you're going to get some gross messages from guys. So my whole thing is, I've curated my life. Like, I have the most spectacular friends. So my social circle, 10 out of 10. On top of that, I'm self-employed. I made the leap, and I have my own business. And my clients are also 10 out of 10. I work on a daily basis with people who are polite, people who are fun to be around, people who are inspiring, people who I genuinely enjoy, because I have the luxury of doing that because I'm self-employed. Like, there's nothing bursting my bubble. Like, I live a great life. The people in my life are amazing. So when at the end of the night, after a really good day, I go on a dating app and some guy's like, nice tits. Oh, I can't wait to rip that dress off, blah, blah, blah. It just, even though it's through a screen, it's so violating. It's so gross. Like, I'm too old for this shit. I feel like I'm 31 now, and I need a break. Like, I'm tired of being sexualized. I'm tired of men only wanting one thing, which is sex. I'm tired of going on dates to find out that a man is completely a commitment phobe, or you finally find one who's like got a good job and like has his shit together but is a total ego freak. Like, I just don't have it in me right now. So I'm taking a page out of whoever's book I came across on TikTok and going boy sober. So I'll keep you guys updated on that journey. But that's my spiel on that. I know we like to talk about dating and relationships, and maybe I'll do another close friends confidential episodes where you guys can send in your stories, questions, concerns, and ask me advice on your dating stuff. But right now, I am taking a well-deserved break because I need it. Because if I don't, I think I'm going to go fucking crazy. Oh, pray for me. Okay, next thing in our Rolodex here. We are preparing for fall. And like I've said, I am easing into an easy fall. I'm really taking care of my mind, body, and soul. And I keep telling my friends, I'm like, if it's not business or body, I'm out. I'm focusing on my business, I'm focusing on my health. So our top priorities are the double B's, business and body. So we're leaning into like a soft, slower lifestyle, an easy fall, a facile fall, if you will. Facile is French for easy. Facile fall. I've been on my Duolingo game. I'm trying to be French again. I did French immersion my entire life and lost all of it, so. But facile fall it is. We should do an entire episode on maybe like a fall bucket list. All the things we're watching, all the things we're doing, all the activities we plan to do, all the fall baking and soups and everything. But my intentions for fall truly is just like self-care. I've been really craving like a spa day, going on my morning seawall walks. I actually just picked up my Nespresso pumpkin spice cake pods. I'm ready to just relax, focus on myself, and have a great fall. I also really want to explore a new hobby. I know that sounds really silly. Right now, I just feel like all my things or my hobbies are incorporated with work. Like, I guess you could say like photography, videography is like part of work, which I take up a lot in my spare time. My personal social media, I guess you could say, is a hobby, but it's kind of work. It's how I promote my business. It's how I make some extra money. UGC is how I make extra money. I don't have a proper hobby. So I don't know what that looks like, if it's like pottery or painting, something creative, because I'm a really creative person, or like sketches. You know what I actually said at the start of the year? I don't know if it was for 2024 or 2023. It was to get back into like, I don't ever want to be a fashion designer, but I take a lot of joy, or what's the word? I just feel joy. I feel happy when I sketch like outfits, and I did learn how to do like proper fashion design sketches in fashion school. So I was like, that's kind of fun. I actually have like the cutest, I have them in my apartment. I have all these old books from when I was little. Like, I'm talking like 6 years old. Like, I have an entire book. You know, when you get a notebook and it's just like those lined notebooks? Like, I have full notebooks, start to finish, filled with all my little fashion designs. Like, I've always been obsessed with fashion since I was like a little girl. So I have these cute little booklets, and I'm like, that's like my roots. And it's creative and it's fun. So like maybe that's something I'll do, or just like painting or going out and doing stuff. But I'm trying to save money too. The theme this fall, I think for me and a lot of my friends, is just like spend less money, no more takeout, eating out less, restaurants less, patios season's going to be over soon. Well, Vancouver probably like till mid-October-ish. But just saving money, working hard, making extra cash, working out, eating healthy is kind of the vibe. Business and body. I've always been a summer girl, but this summer wasn't the best for me, so I'm really looking forward to facile fall. Okay, to conclude, we're going to do my green and red flags of the week. or I guess of the last couple months, since it's been so long since I've had an episode. I'm sorry, guys, but we'll be on it this fall because it is going to be a facile fall. Okay, green and red flag. Green flag for me is prioritizing health in all capacities. Like, I've become really good at saying no. Girlfriends are like, let's have wine. I'm like, no, I need a tea. I still don't even sound like myself after being sick for 3 weeks. Anything that isn't in alignment with my goals right now, I'm saying no to. So I'm just prioritizing health physically, mentally, emotionally, cutting myself off from like the disappointment and everything in dating. I'm journaling, I'm resting, I am taking it easy. I really need to just like reset my nervous system. I feel like I've been in fight or flight for so long, and I just need to fucking relax. I need to fucking relax. That's what I need to do. Work 6 days a week all year. I still technically haven't taken vacation. I went home and I still couldn't even take time off. It's just, as someone who's self-employed, it's harder to take time off than it is to just work through it. Anyways, so green flag is I am prioritizing health in all capacities. But my red flag, I had to think about this. Because I was like, I'm being so good. Like, I really don't have a lot of red flag. But then I thought of one. I'm not a big reader. I'm a podcast girly, which is why we're here. Love podcasts, love audiobooks, but my ADHD is raging. So if I listen to a podcast, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast if I'm like video editing for work on the couch, and it's kind of in like the background, and I'm like, doing something, and I can retain the information, but otherwise I have to be walking. I can't just sit and retain information. So I'm also a really bad reader, but I was like, I just want to try. And I'm obsessed with Tinks. I found her on TikTok, probably in the pandemic. I just think she's funny. I love all of her, like, what are they? Sayings? Not mannerisms, no. What's the word? It's going to drive me crazy. Euphemisms. That's what I like. I love Tinks, her euphemisms. And I just think she's got her head screwed on right and really value her opinion. And she's kind of in the same boat. She's like been single for a long time, and people are like, why are you getting advice from someone who's been single for so long? But she's like, my standards are high and I'm looking for an emotionally intelligent man, which is hard to find. Anyways, I bought her book in July with the intention to read it. And I was like, in Indigo, and I was like, ooh, it's like pop culture-y. It's like someone I really admire. I'll read it. So my red flag is I haven't read it. I've had this book here, and then I like literally went to the airport, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be home, I'm going to have time, go to the beach, have time in the airport, I'm going to read this book. I didn't even bring it. I forgot it. So my red flag is that I haven't read my book that I bought almost 2 months ago now. Oopsie. I was sick for a month. Let's go back to that excuse. But I'm going to read it. Fingers crossed, hopefully. So maybe I'll give you guys an update come the next podcast episode to let you know I've actually read at least a few chapters. Okay? Okay. So Saturday night, tonight, I am going to hop in the shower because I sweat my actual ass off on the hike we did. I'm going to give myself a pedicure. I got nail polish remover and all this stuff to like give myself a little pedicure, do a face mask. I just want to kind of like keep the apartment clean, maybe do some laundry, boring girl summer shit, but into boring girl fall. And tonight I am going to watch this Disney Plus show that my friend Becca and her sister recommended, The Good Wife or The Perfect Wife, something like that. They said it's really, really good. It's like a 3-episode like docuseries type thing. So I'm going to watch that. And then if time permits, I may dabble into Bridgerton, which I also restarted. I feel like I watched the first season in the pandemic, and then I didn't watch any more seasons, and I want it to be my pay attention show. I don't know about you guys, but I have some shows I'm like, I'm half paying attention, and then I have some shows where I'm like, phones down, nothing can distract me. My pay attention show, like start to finish. I'm not even making a tea. I'm not getting up to turn on the kettle. I am laser focused in on this show. So my pay attention show right now is Bridgerton. So I might dabble in that if I exceed the 3 episodes of the other show. And yeah, just having a cute little self-care moment. Light a candle, cook some food, enjoy my own company, because honestly, is there anything better? I love being alone. I love living alone. It's the best thing in the entire world. Okay, this episode has been long enough. Okay, I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening if you listened all the way. And I will catch you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. I don't have an Instagram or TikTok page yet for this podcast. Since it's a personal podcast, I'm just going to drive you to my personal pages. I'm a social media manager. I already have like 12 videos a day I need to post. I don't need to give myself extra work. So follow me on Instagram and TikTok as well at Linds Rosso, LINDSROSSO. Okay, love you guys. See you next time. Bye.